As current, as Harriet stated, I'm Lonnie Green. I currently operate a few local businesses in the Easton area. Aside from business, I currently serve on various boards, including the Multicultural Advisory Committee, as previously stated, and Easton Rotary. Today, I have the honor and privilege of introducing not only a dear friend and former colleague, but also an inspiration to myself and many others. The proof is truly in the pudding, as my grandma always said. Our speaker was previously honored as one of 100 men of distinction in 2017. A 2018 Blacklist Award recipient from the Maryland General Assembly for outstanding educational and community work. In 2020, he produced a short film titled Peace of Mind, which highlighted he and his friends as they traveled to march in Washington during the pandemic to advocate for racial equality. As a role model to many, he consistently pushes for the African American culture in any way he can, striving to pay it forward for future generations, as we all love to do as young African American men. It is with honor and humility that I present to you the recording artist, the activist, the educator, and my dear friend, Mr. Devon Beck.
Man, that was an amazing introduction, Lonnie. I truly appreciate that. Thank you.
Appreciate you, man. I appreciate you
for having me. Good morning. If you're seeing me and hearing my voice right now, that means that you've made it. You made it through one of the toughest years I think we've all seen. And there's a blessing in that. And even if right now you aren't at 100%, hopefully you are of strong mind, and God willing, the body will follow. My name is Devon Beck. I am a husband, a father, a brother, a son, an educator, a community activist, a hip hop artist, and last but certainly not least, I am a proud Black man. To be given an opportunity to speak to you in times such as these is a huge honor for me. I appreciate and understand the weights of the events that have shaped us into the country that we are today. I am humbled that my insight is even considered. James Baldwin said, to be a Negro in this country and to be relatively conscious is to be in a rage almost all the time. This was 1961. Historically, in this country, we have been expected to downplay the oppression that has plagued our people. I've studied the brave souls that came before me and laid their lives on the line for my right to vote, attend schools, or even just get a meal without having to use the back door. I often wonder if those folks knew at that time they were making history. Considered a danger, even though they were non-violent. They were met with police, dogs, batons, fire hoses, and regardless of all of this, they kept their eyes on the prize. The leaders that came before us that we learned about as children were assassinated because they were deemed too powerful in their attempt to unite Black people in our quest for equality, even in a nonviolent nature. I encourage you to watch a documentary called MLK versus the FBI, which goes into great detail pertaining how Martin Luther King was targeted as a threat because of his ability to unify Black people during the civil rights movement. You know, for asking for outrageous things like being treated like a human being. Fast forward to present day. January 6th, 2021, we watched the biggest display of white privilege as terrorists stormed the US Capitol, not for the loss of human life or not being treated unjustly, but because their privileges were being compromised and their former commander-in-chief and a host of others egged them on. And Martin Luther King was called dangerous. No batons, no rubber bullets, no pepper spray. Many were calmly escorted down the steps in an orderly manner. And watching this, knowing our history, it sure felt like a slap in the face. We as Black people are often vilified in the media, especially as people who want to riot and destroy, completely ignoring the innocent lives lost that will lead to any civil unrest. Yet, we are forced to watch people storm the Capitol free from being called animals and thugs. They were proud and patriotic. This is the end result of standing down and standing by. This is America. Growing up as a young Black male in Denton, Maryland, I dealt with my fair share of racism throughout my life. I in no way can compare what I dealt with to the horror that those who came before me had to endure, but it all leaves a lasting effect on the individual. I've dealt with police. I've had my father, John Beck, he's on here. He's been unjustly slammed, handcuffed, pepper sprayed by police for checking on my sick mother. These are things that shape you into who you are and what you will stand for. As a Black male, I've always been fully aware that I'm viewed as a danger, no matter how much I educate myself. My skin tone alone is a threat. If I raise my voice for something I feel is wrong, I'm viewed as aggressive and not passionate. We are often told to get over the systemic oppression that has plagued our brothers and sisters that were in place way before I was even a thought. We were born into this. We have to be taught how to navigate in this country wearing this skin. And I've often heard people say, why can't they just get it together? Why is it that they make everything about race? If I can work hard and provide nice things for my family, why can't they do the same? And one of my all-time favorites is, why can't they just comply with the police? My response to that: it's easy to judge from a standpoint of a culture who has undoubtedly had a 400-year head start and still leading the way. We have to think about race in every single aspect of our lives, from where we live to where we work, where we go to school. We have to consider it. If we don't, the results can be deadly. So pardon us while we work through this 400-year head start, dealing with the scars and the mental anguish that our ancestors endured, and the stereotypes that follow us, no matter how non-threatening I may try to look. The weight can be a little difficult to carry. And in the midst of this, dealing with the frustration of watching our people unjustly killed on camera. Sounds like more of a reasonable response to storm a Capitol. But what do I know? This is what I do know. There's strength in our unity. Back then, we didn't have the same platforms and the capabilities to communicate the way we do now, which is a gift and a curse. No matter how old you are, we can all play a part in this moving forward. We have to. The actions don't need to be grandiose or set to change the world. Starting small is always best. Your community, your town, your city, your state. The importance of continuing to support Black-owned businesses is vital. I saw a meme that said, McDonald's can mess your order up 1,000 times and you will continue to go there. A Black business will mess up your business and you will drag them forever. And that is, it's true. We're so hard on each other along with fighting the other good fight. Everything we do should be focused on uplifting one another. That's it. That's the only way we're gonna get ahead. Of course, you will have those who feel like they need a seat at those tables to feel validated and valued. And knowing our history, I don't knock them for feeling that way. It has been a part of our psyche and our survival. But I am under the belief that building my own table will prove to me that I am valuable. I no longer need validation from any other side, especially when I know I'll never be viewed as an equal. Continue to educate yourself. Build, be bold and brave in every single attempt. Even in failure, never hang your head. That's what a drawing board is for. We are the most resilient people on this planet. Nobody can tell me different. We are so powerful that the mere thought of us coming together is scary. When it comes to police brutality, I am under the belief that we need to keep speaking out against it until we see change. no matter how long it's going to take. I understand the dangers of that job, but sir, you can remove that uniform. I can't remove this skin. Continue to film everything, and I can't stress it enough. Watching our brothers and sisters murdered on camera will never be normal. Please don't be desensitized to it. Know your rights and move within them when interacting with police. To know the story of how Breonna Taylor was murdered while she slept, or to watch the 8 minutes and 46 seconds of the police officer killing George Floyd. Just yesterday, a 42-year-old man, Kurt Andres, hopefully I'm saying his last name right, was killed for just jaywalking. This is the rage that James Baldwin was talking about. I've marched in Denton. I've marched in Salisbury. I marched in Washington, D.C. with the threat of not only death from COVID, but from people who were mad that we were using these platforms to peacefully protest police brutality. And guess what we were met with? Tanks, the National Guard. I cared not. Why? I'm watching us die anyway, even if I'm silent. Young Black men and women, your job is especially important right now. Your energy, your intellect, the way you see this world is important because you are creative and you are bold. This generation's won't be denied attitude is exactly what we need. You call racism out for what it is, and you have shined a huge light on issues that need to be addressed for years. Case in point, the Black Lives Matter movement has been awarded, or they will be awarded, for the Nobel Peace Prize as one of the biggest movements in the last 5 decades. That is huge. We've welcomed and experienced a Black president in Barack Obama. Were things perfect? No. Is there room to grow? Always. Let's not forget that we're welcoming our first female vice president and Kamala Harris. We will continue to break these barriers with a long way to go. And we can't do anything about the criticism that these individuals will get. But when you're in that position, let's make a conscious effort to always support them. Regardless of the negative press that follows, these are huge milestones, and we have a front row seat to this revolution. To our elders, we are beyond appreciative of the foundation that you have laid for us along the way. The youth need your insight, your inspiration, and your wisdom. Some of you remember and have lived through the civil rights movement and remember attending segregated schools. You are the same ones who fought for us to have the very rights that we do today, but there's still a division between us. We don't talk enough. Young people may feel like you're outdated and you feel like young people move too fast. Let's slow down and talk to each other, have conversations, and be open to do so. We are Black history. We continue to make it daily. I encourage educators to push Black history every month, not just February. Schools with predominantly Black students often wonder what they can do to better connect with their children. Show them people who look like them accomplishing great things always. That will work wonders for the sense of pride. There is no room for racism in a classroom. Teachers who conduct themselves in that way are a cancer to the entire school system and should be weeded out immediately. I believe that. This is the only way to make change. Me, myself, I've been blessed with 3 beautiful daughters. And from the way I speak and everything I do, my purpose on this earth is to make the world a better place for them. And if in my actions, I so happen to affect the world, that's an added bonus. We can't change anything that happened before us, but we can acknowledge them and learn from it. Don't wait for an apology from a society that we'll never get. We're not going to get it. But the fact that we will continue to rise to greatness anyway will always be more than enough. This speech is dedicated to my uncle that we just lost and buried yesterday, Donald Brooks. We love you. My name is Devon Beck. Thank you for my time.
Devon, I love you. Oh, thank you so much. Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for your message. Thank you so much. It was important to hear. It was important for us here on the Eastern Shore to hear it. It's important for everybody here to hear it. Thank you so much. God continue to bless you in all the work that you do. Bless your family. Just keep doing what you're doing and know that you have in us allies, and anything that you need from us, you have it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless you. I know I have to stop because I know I'm supposed to move on with this program. But I could talk to you all day. Okay. Okay.